Okay.
All right. So today I'm going to talk to you about why marijuana should be legalized. To start off, I'm not really going to talk about like anything that's going on today. Really, I'm not going to talk about Colorado and what they're doing because it's kind of hard to follow some of the things I want to like get across since it's such a new thing they've done with their state. So I'm not really going to get into that too much. I'm just going to get into a couple reasons and some background to why I think it should be legalized. Alright, so we got crime. Talk about the numbers, less crime, and some history check. So, according to the FBI's uniform recording data, 1.5 million arrests were made annually are drug-related offenses, and about 750,000 of those are for marijuana. That's a lot. That's a lot of arrests, and that's half of all the drug-related arrests. And 88% of those are just for simple possession, just someone having like weed in their pocket. So it's a lot of people going away for something I don't feel is like such a big drastic concern. This is a little fact underneath that says a grow-op is pretty much when a dealer or a supplier has like plants like in their basement and stuff, right? And there's so many that you probably it could be like next door to you or something you wouldn't know. And I saw a fact that said that if we busted one every day for a year, you wouldn't even be close to getting rid of all of them. So there's a lot out there, but we'll get around to how you can get rid of some of this stuff. This is just a prison thing for the United States. This is not drug related or anything. This is just prisoners like that we have in America. We have more prisoners than any other country, so it's kind of bad. It says we have 5% of the world's people and 25% of the world's prisoners. It's bad. Alright, so one thing about, legalizing marijuana is I believe there'll be less crime. Kind of like if you regulate marijuana and sell it like government, like if they have control of it, they're going to make prices lower than what like someone else like on the side of the street is going to sell it for, and that's going to put them out of business. The negative thing though from that is if you make it legal, they're just going to sell the next best thing, right? They're going to go and sell you some other kind of drug because they're trying to make their money. They're greedy, and that's what they're going to do. So you're going to see more hard drugs available if it's legalized. I'm pretty sure. There's no way to be certain. This is just me speculating and looking up like some history. Also, there's a possibility, I have it quotes because I'm not sure, if crimes will be more violent because you have more people doing like harder drugs, and they're people that do these kind of drugs, their effects of the drug will like make them more angry. They could be all doped up or on like coke and be violent. But I think if we legalize it, our money that we can make from having it legal can be used to have stronger law enforcement against it. This is kind of goes against my violent thing. It actually says that violence has gone down as marijuana has gone up. So, and this is just a quick. I'm not going to go too much into the prohibition of alcohol back in like the 1920s, but you can see we can't see all the chart for some reason. But this is a steady increase of prison and crime during that time period. All right, let's go to the benefits of what can we get from legalizing it. Money saved. $13.7 billion are spent on the enforcement of marijuana. 1 billion is spent directly on inmates and people in jail, and the taxpayers end up paying $41.8 billion. That's a lot of money. You could flip that around almost if you made it legal. This is just an estimate. The illegal drug industry is worth about $36 billion. So money earned. California's crops are about $14 billion revenue annually. That's how much they're worth. And Colorado has made $5 million alone just on the taxes of medical marijuana. And this is estimated here. It says it could be worth $100 billion if you made marijuana like completely legal for like recreational use and everything. It's a lot of money, and then obviously you wouldn't have to pay $41 million in taxes on it. Or billion. It's a lot. New jobs actually will open up for every weed grow. That's like a distribution center. I think that's in Denver. Creates 75 jobs for everyone. And they said in Denver they have more dispensaries than they do Starbucks. It's a lot. I'm not going to go into detail of like what each of these like job and tile like has to do with, but those are just a few things that could possibly pop up as jobs. This is a good one, hemp. So marijuana, the one like the bud that you smoke, that's like the female part of the plant, and hemp is the male part of the plant. You can't smoke it and get anything from it, but it is good for a lot of other things. It produces stronger, cheaper paper. You could save lots of trees if you grow hemp. You wouldn't have to cut them down. I mean, unless you're still going to need trees for wood, I guess, but for paper, at least, you could save a lot of trees doing that. It's just more sustainable and burns cleaner than any other kind of like fuel. It's also biodiesel and combusts, releasing water vapor and CO2, which is completely fine with the environment. CO2 is released when we breathe, and that's what plants take in. It also grows abundantly and helps the soil. And
wrap it up. You got about 15 seconds here.
Dude. All right. Well, the first American flag was actually used with hemp by Betsy Ross. It also produces 250% more fiber than cotton, using the same amount of land as cotton. This is a link to some medical uses. There's more than I could put on this slide at all. There's a huge list. Safety, gateway theory. It can be a gateway drug, I guess. You could say that, but 104 smokers, there'll be one person that is a cocaine user or some other kind of drug. As more people use it, if it's legalized, that's true. There'll be more people that use it for gateway drugs. That's only because statistically, more people will be doing it, so does more people will have it for gateways. Actually, the black market being illegal makes it more like easy for kids to get it, and it actually is a more gateway drug because.
You got to wrap it up, Brandon. You're way over, so you can do your conclusion real quickly, but let's cut to that.
All right, so I guess if you're buying it off the streets and stuff, you're going to be introduced to more like harder drugs because you're going to be meeting some person you probably don't know. They'll be offering you other things. Whereas in a shop or something, you're going to have government like people working there, and it'll be a lot more friendlier. And so, one quick thing is The Union. If you guys get a chance to watch it, it's a really good documentary. It'll probably fill up a lot more things than I could even talk about. So that's it.
Jessica, why don't you go ahead and come on up while someone asks Brandon a question. I lost track of who. Tiffany, ask Brandon a question while Jessica's saying that.
What is the Union about?
It's like a documentary. It talks about the history of marijuana, where how it played a role before it was legalized in our country. It starts off with that, and then it goes into talking about how much money is spent on making it illegal and like tests they run. It goes over like more things I could even like get in there.